Okay, wait, did Sydney Sweeney really just break her silence after all that online chaos? Yeah. After staying completely quiet through weeks of people going back and forth about that American Eagle ad, she finally said something. And people? Oh, they've got opinions. But before we dive into it, let me ask you this. Have you ever felt like no matter what you do, someone's going to judge you? Like, even when you're trying to do something good or just doing your job, it still somehow gets picked apart? Yeah. That feeling. That's pretty much what Sydney's been dealing with lately. In this video, we're breaking it all down. Everything. Why the American Eagle ad stirred up so much backlash. Why Sydney stayed so quiet for so long, even though her name was everywhere online. And what her new message really means now that she's finally spoken up. And yep, there's a twist in this whole thing that caught a lot of people off guard. So stick with me. Alright, let's rewind to how this all started. So, American Eagle launched a brand new ad campaign. It featured Sydney Sweeney. You've probably seen the photos, sunny, denim-heavy, chill vibes. Pretty much what you'd expect from an American Eagle shoot, right? Everything looked pretty normal at first. But then one of the captions they used really set people off. It said something along the lines of, "Real girls. Real bodies. Real beauty." Sounds empowering, right? Like, a good thing. But that one line? That's what got everyone talking. Some people were totally on board. They saw it as positive. Like, yes. More brands should show real beauty. But then others were like, hold on. They weren't so convinced. A lot of critics came forward and said it felt off. Like, tone deaf. They said using Sydney, someone who fits really traditional beauty standards, to represent real bodies didn't feel genuine. They thought it was sending the wrong message. That instead of highlighting a variety of body types or showing more inclusivity, the ad just went the usual route, again. And the internet did what the internet does. Comments flooded in. Some folks defended Sydney, saying, come on, she's just the model. She doesn't write the captions. Which is fair, honestly. Others were a lot more critical. People started calling the whole thing performative. Fake. A missed opportunity. And, yeah, not inclusive at all. And the weird part? Through all this, Sydney stayed completely silent. And that's exactly what Sydney did here. She didn't come in guns blazing. She didn't start blaming or pointing fingers. She just acknowledged that she sees what's going on and that she's open to learning from it. And that's the kind of response that actually earns respect. Now, the internet's still divided. Some people think her message was enough. Others feel like it was too late, or too vague. But either way, she broke the silence. She finally said something. And she did it in a way that felt calm, reflective, and, honestly, kind of human. And in this whole digital world where everything's so loud and dramatic and rushed, that kind of approach feels refreshing. So, now I want to hear from you. Do you think Sydney handled this the right way? Was her response enough? Or should she have said more? Let's talk about it in the comments. And if you're curious about how other celebrities navigate these messy public moments, go check out our video on why Selena Gomez stepped away from social media, and what it taught us about burnout, pressure, and protecting your peace online. Trust me, it connects to this more than you'd think. Also, if this video gave you something to think about, maybe give it a like. Helps a lot more than you know. And if you want to see more pop culture deep dives like this, subscribe. We've got more coming soon. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. No tweets. No Instagram stories. No liking of supportive comments. Nothing. Just silence. Which made people even more curious. Like, Why isn't she saying anything? Was she trying to stay out of it? Or maybe her team told her not to comment. Was it a PR move? All kinds of theories started flying around. But then, after all that silence, she finally spoke up. It wasn't a press release. It wasn't a long post. Just a simple Instagram story. Here's what it said. I hear you. I see the conversation. I'm learning and I'm listening. Always have been. Always will. Short. Direct. Very calm. Now, she didn't go into detail. She didn't defend herself. She didn't mention the ad or the brand by name. But she acknowledged it. And honestly, that might have been the smartest move she could have made. See, according to branding experts, when a celebrity is facing backlash, especially over something sensitive like body image or representation, sometimes it's better to say less, but mean it. One expert from NYU said that short, personal statements often come across more real than long, carefully written PR messages. Think about it. Would you rather hear someone talk for 5 paragraphs and say nothing, or hear one clear sentence that feels honest? A lot of people respected that she didn't try to make excuses. She didn't blame anyone. She just said she's listening. And that matters. Another PR strategist pointed out that Sydney's silence before this probably wasn't random. They called it a strategic pause. Basically, instead of reacting right away and possibly making things worse, she waited. She watched. She read what people were saying. Then, when the time was right, she responded. Now, that's risky. Because on the internet, silence can sometimes look like ignorance. Or like you don't care. But in this case, it might have actually worked in her favor. Here's the thing, Sydney isn't the one who wrote the ad. She didn't control the message. She was the face of it. The model. But in today's world, people expect public figures to own the messaging tied to their image, even if it wasn't their decision. So when a campaign feels off, fans don't just blame the brand, they also look at the celebrity. And yeah, that's a lot of pressure. But that's the reality now. Especially when your name, your face, and your platform are part of a massive marketing push. So what can we take from this? Well, if you're ever in a situation, on a smaller scale, of course, where people are upset or confused by something connected to you, sometimes the best move is to pause. Watch. Listen. You don't have to jump in immediately. You don't have to say something just to say something. Sometimes a thoughtful, honest response, when you're ready, is worth way more than rushing to defend yourself out of fear.